There was nothing to play for but prestige, but still the fixture between Schalke and Hoffenheim brought almost a capacity crowd to the Veltins Arena. Glorious spring sunshine, a temperature of 25 degrees, and of course the fans were hoping for some champagne soccer to bring the season to a close. Schalke in their traditional royal blue, Hoffenheim the visitors in the white. Kurani, first chance, Fafan, what a save from Hildebrandt, and an even greater one from Altintop. What a shot, what a save. Timo Hildebrandt did not have the best of starts when he joined Hoffenheim, but his form in recent weeks has been absolutely world-class. Outstanding goalkeeping. Altintop saw his name in lights. Hildebrandt had other ideas. Schalke 8th in the table with 50 points, Hoffenheim 7th with 52, but both sides well adrift of a UEFA Cup or a Europa League spot. 27 minutes played. The Schalke fans absolutely stunned. 1-0 for Hoffenheim. Look at his quality cross, Carlos Eduardo and Dembaba, goal number 14 of the season. No chance at all for Manu Neuer. Could Schalke bounce back? And how? 3 minutes later, Mladen Kristajic in probably his final game for Schalke. There have been rumours about their central defender calling it a day, or indeed having to call it a day in Schalke. So, of course, a lot of satisfaction for Kristajic, a fine header. The defence not looking too clever for Hoffenheim, especially Forza. Half an hour gone, 1-1. 4 minutes later, Jermaine Jones into the box, pulls it back. Fafan. No chance at all for Hildebrandt this time. Jefferson Fafan's 9th of the season, 2-1. Schalke in the lead. Hoffenheim top at Christmas, how they've slid down the table. A mixture of injuries, suspensions. At half-time, 2-1 for the home side. Into the second stanza we go. 49 minutes played. Carlos Eduardo, and what a truly magnificent strike. A controversial young man, Carlos Eduardo. He's been suspended, he's been in trouble with the authorities, but look at the quality of that strike. No chance for Neuer. He'd positioned the wall perfectly, but the Brazilian curling his shot round it into the top corner. 2-2. Hoffenheim with their tails up. Close, but not close enough from Dembaba. Hoffenheim finishing with a flourish. Unbeaten in the last 3 games. Drew 2-2 with Bayern last week. 1-2 in Bielefeld the last away. 81 minutes gone, and blasted over the bar. That was the miss of the afternoon from German international Heiko Westermann. From our camera high up behind the goal, the miss looks even more glaring. That should have been the winner for Schalke. They were to pay for it because Rafinha brought down Fabricio. A terrible challenge. The referee turning a deaf ear to protests. Look at Rafinha. Greco-Roman wrestling of its finest. Carlos Eduardo, there was no way that was not going home. 89 minutes gone. Hoffenheim 3-2 in the lead. Schalke 4 games, no wins after 4 victories. And this was to be game number 5. 2 minutes over the allotted 90. Jones goes down. In comes Rakitic. Oh, what a save from Hildebrandt. The Hoffenheim goalkeeper played such a fundamental role in his side taking all 3 points. Ralf Rangnick, former coach in Schalke, delighted at his side's victory, and well deserved it was too. Schalke 2, Hoffenheim 3.
Well, the big relegation battle in Cottbus in the Stadion de Freundschaft, the Friendship Stadium, was already showing nervous faces at the beginning, knowing, of course, Cottbus, that only a win and a defeat for relegation rivals Bielefeld would give Cottbus the half chance of remaining in the Bundesliga. Bojan Prasnica, the head coach from Cottbus, on 12 minutes, his team here in red and white with Erwin Scaler, the Albanian. This was Angelov, finds Steven Rivic, and in the centre, Shao, the Chinese international, not been scoring recently. It was a wonderful chance for him in the opening stages of the game here, but René Adler between the posts, one of the Germany's best goalkeepers, was perfectly positioned. So 12 minutes played on the first chance. 23 minutes played, and then the visitors here today in yellow and black with Stefan Kiesling, and he found on the right-hand side in a spot of room Patrick Helmes. It was a decent strike too. In goal, it's Gerhard Tremmel at the moment, one of the other good goalkeepers in the Bundesliga, having a great season. Good strike by Helmes, searching for goal number 22. Worrying times for Bojan Prasnica. On 37 minutes, this was Barnetta, and then Vidal on his own goes for goal. But you guessed it, there he is again, Tremmel. Good strike by Arturo Vidal. Took his opportunity, but save was equal to it. Then in 45 minutes, Arturo Vidal would be involved again, but not in a fair way. He received his second yellow card after the foul on Angelov. So in 45 minutes, the team down to 10 men. Cottbus, the 3 best goal scorers, all out injured today. Rangelov, Jelic and Iliev. At half-time, keep cool was the thought going through this young man's head. And then 5 minutes into the second half. Lovely ball from Erwin Scaler. This is Emil Euler, and a fine finish from the Romanian to make it 1-0 for Cottbus. 50 minutes played, and the team with relegation worries currently 17th in the table, facing Bayer Leverkusen 9th. Opened up the scoring, but where was Karim Hagui? Certainly Euler got the better of him, so that was the 3rd goal for Euler. 1-0 then for the home team. Last season, Leverkusen won here 3-2, and the last defeat, in actual fact, against Cottbus was back in April of 2007. On 56 minutes, though, it was the home team looking more dangerous. Erwin Scaler with Rivic, and there was Adler. Good work from Scaler, finding Rivic in a bit of room again. And then on 62 minutes, it was Tremmel who gets in the way again. Getting the leg in there before Barnetta. Tremmel not exactly happy with his defence, and Barnetta on a good day could have scored there. 2 minutes after that one, it was Chadash on the byline, Erwin Scaler. And then on his own, Steven Rivic, the Croatian, gets his first goal of the season on the last day of the season. How important is that for the Croatian and for Cottbus? 2-0. As you can see for this man here, slowly but surely, maybe we could remain in the Bundesliga, was a thought going through that young man's head. This is the 3rd consecutive season now in Germany's top flight. They've never made it 4 in a row. Steven Rivic giving them some hope here. 2-0 after 64 minutes. And then on 69 minutes, again, that was Schau. Scaler, and a lot of good work here today. Unselfish pass into the centre. There's Euler, his 4th of the season, 2nd of the game, and 3-0 for Energie Cottbus. Good pass from Schau. Scaler again getting the better of Hargreaves, and a wonderful, classy pass unselfishly into the centre for the perfectly positioned Euler to make it 3-0. By Leverkusen, the 5-0 home win last time out was the first home win this year, and the very first in the interim stadium in Dusseldorf. Away from home, they've been great. On this occasion, they were poor yet again. 90 minutes played, foul from Kadlec against Schau, and in up steps Erwin Scaler. Penalty blasted over the top, but it was still 3-0. That was the end result. The Stadium of Friendship, at the end of the day, gets a friendly kiss from Çağdaş. But would it be enough to remain in the Bundesliga? Cottbus 3, Leverkusen 0. Borussia Park, and again a sellout crowd here, 54,000. They were facing Dortmund here today, and this was a huge game. The 2 times UEFA Cup winners and 5 times German champions Borussia Mönchengladbach could only theoretically be relegated. 1 point would be enough to secure Bundesliga football next season. For Dortmund in yellow, well, they needed 3 points or at least something out of this game after the 6-0. The win against Bielefeld last week. They were in good form. This was the early stages of the game. 6 minutes played. Nelson Valdez beaten though by Logan Bailly. Dortmund currently 5th. Looking almost sure to be in the new Europa League next season. We're starting very briskly indeed. And again, it was Nelson Valdez. Once again, the same old story. Logan Bailly in goal. Hans Meyer, well, he was sweating buckets in the early stages of this game after 10 minutes. And then 21 played, free kick, Alexander Frey, away by Tamas Galasek, the ex-Czech international. Straight back to Frey again. And in the centre, Nelson Valdez. 3 huge chances for Nelson Valdez in the first 21 minutes of the game. The head coach from Dortmund, Jurgen Klopp. Not exactly worrying times yet, but very concentrated in this game. Level on points with Hamburg, 58, but a much better goal difference. And with 8 wins from their last 9 games behind them, they were looking good until that effort here on 45 minutes, just before the half-time whistle. The corner from Alexander Baumjohann, and then Dante with the header against the post. Well, Weidenfeller was beaten. A little unlucky for Borussia Mönchengladbach. So at half-time, Dortmund needing points and possibly new hairdos for the Europa League next season. 48 minutes played. Well worked out, Philip Darms together with Roberto Colauti, and then Philip Darms again. Lovely 1-2 from those two. This was 3 minutes into the second half. Colauti to Darms, and the chance went begging. 9 minutes later, corner Alexander Baumjohann, and take a look for all that room that Dante had there on 57 to make it 1-0. So much room. 3rd goal of the season for Dante, and the home crowd knew that could be one heck of a day in Gladbach. They were thrashed 5-0 by Leverkusen last week. But good delivery from Alexander Baumjohann, the man that will be going to Bayern Munich at the end of the season, knocked in by Dante. So the crowd enjoying themselves. 2 minutes later, not giving up. Dortmund's yellow and black contingents. Frey with the cross, and then Uwe Hunemeyer after that free kick. And it came on for Subotic, beaten again by Bailly. 64 minutes played. Sebastian Kehl somehow manages to get the ball through to Jakub Błaszczykowski, and the man they called Kuba knocked in his 3rd of the season, the equaliser on 64 minutes. Kehl, but what horrible defending there from the Canadian international Paul Stalteri. Kuba took his chance. 1-1, game on. All started from the skipper Kehl. It was poor defending indeed from Paul Stalteri. 1 minute later, Gladbach trying to bounce back and get the next goal. This was Karim Makmor with a huge chance to make it 2-1. Found some room. The ex-Freiburg player couldn't get the ball between the posts, though, much to the dismay of Hans Meyer. "83 minutes gone. Corner, Dortmund, Thomas Heinal. And in the centre again, Uwe Hunemeyer. He's a big, tall lad, well over 6 foot. Couldn't get the ball down, way over the top of the crossbar. And then coming towards stoppage time, this could be the last chance. Across from Day. Again, Uwe Hunemeyer and Mohamed Zidane. But it was all over. The final whistle was blown for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Enough for the Bundesliga next season. Would it be enough for Dortmund for the Europa League? Gladbach 1, Dortmund 1.
Hamburg went into their game at Frankfurt knowing that they had to win at all costs if they were to get a chance of playing in the Europa League next season. Frankfurt's season, pretty dismal. Nothing much to fight for except pride. We joined the game in the 12th minute. Guerrero giving the ball away. Hamburg in the white tops and red shorts. Kyle with a lovely ball slipped through to Alex Meyer, and the first chance of the game falling to the home team. Frank Rost with a good save. Made himself big. Stopped the ball going in the net. On the quarter of an hour mark, Korkmaz and a header from Fink after Ox's pass. Good ball in from Patrick Ox. Friedhelm Funkel, 170 games as Frankfurt coach, but that's all over now. The two parting their ways at the end of this season. Chance on 22 minutes from Yarolem, taken very neatly by the captain. Only his second goal of the season. A real fighter, David Yarolem. Doesn't often shoot from distance, but when he does, goodness me, that was hit with some venom. Hamburg doing what they could. Frankfurt have been 5 games without a win. And we're already a goal down on the half-hour mark. Ivica Olic in his last game for Hamburg before he goes off to Bayern Munich. Marcus Pohl getting a glove on it. So at half-time, didn't look too good for Frankfurt. And things were to get worse on 58 minutes. This run by Giedemel, bamboozling the defence, and there's Olic with a very well-targeted header. 2-0 the score. Only 4 draws this season for Hamburg, but they've had a lot of bad luck. Kept meeting Bremen and kept getting beaten out of the UEFA Cup in the semis to them and in the German FA Cup. But with a 2-goal cushion against Frankfurt. That was until 3 minutes later, when Meyer manages to put enough power on it to fox Frank Rost, make it 2-1 with his 3rd goal of the season. Hamburg lost their last 3 aways. They've only had 4 points from the last 5 games. Was this game going to slip away from them, and with it the chance of that Europa League? Still very much reliant on what Dortmund had done. 63 minutes gone. Amanatidis and Kyle after Fenin's pass. 2-2, and Hamburg on the slide once more. Hands on hips, looking to the heavens, but that wasn't going to help. Only goals count. And Kaio's second of the season certainly counted for Frankfurt. Back on level terms, 2-2. Frankfurt holding off Hamburg now in the 90th minute. Jonathan Petrojpa going for the 1-2 with Trukowski. His shot saved by Plot. And getting a little bit of gamesmanship from Michael Fink. Jonathan Petrojpa. But what they didn't know is that when 90+1, Petrojpa to eventually Trukowski, who's never ever lost against Frankfurt and wasn't going to start now. Piotr Trukowski, the German international, making it 3-2 in the dying seconds of the game, and with it the chance of playing in Europe next season. Missed out on 2 occasions of European glory. But Piotr Trukowski hitting this one with his left leg, and the spin and curve on it, beating Marcus Plot. And what a salto for celebration. Time to celebrate. They knew that Dortmund had only managed a draw and that they would be playing in the Europa League next season. 3-2 the score. Markus Babbel back in the place where he started his career, but this time as coach of Stuttgart. And this game was all about Champions League football. The team that won this would be guaranteed Champions League next season. If, however, it was a draw, they could be overtaken by Hertha Berlin, and one of them would have ended up in the Europa League. Markus Babbel about to make sure that that did not happen. We joined the game in the 16th minute. Long kick out by Hans-Jörg Butt, and Bayern Munich in red. Traditionally, Frank Ribéry with the effort, and it takes a wicked deflection off the bottom of Khalid Boularuz's foot. And after just past the quarter of an hour mark, the home team took the lead. Last season they won this 4-1, and they destroyed Stuttgart 5-1 in the German FA Cup just after Christmas. There's the deflection, nothing Jens Lehmann could do about it. And in it went. So Stuttgart with it all to do. Ludovic Magnan, Sami Khedira, and Gomez getting a touch on the ball. Hitzelsperger unleashing the cannon that they call the hammer. What a good save from Butt. When he hits them, they stay hit. The captain dipping marvellously just at the end. 3 minutes before the half hour, Hitzelsperger again, ball forward to Gebhardt, and then Mario Gomez. And another brilliant save from Butt. Gomez proving, though, why Bayern Munich would very much like to buy him, but they need Champions League money to do that with. Markus Babbel trying to get his team up and running. Hitzelsperger again. Dimichelis cutting it out this time, though. Kakao intercepting his clearance. Gebhardt going through, Lucio taking him over, but the flag already up for offside. Stuttgart thought they might have had a penalty. That's where the ball was released. Had to think about it before he put up that flag. A minute before half-time was called. Sosa into the middle, and Luca Toni will not want to see that in slow motion. How on earth, after this absolute gift from Boularuz, did the Italian international miss the target? 45 minutes plus time added on for stoppages. There were a few, and it was Gomez with a chance, and then Kakao, but he was offside as well. Gomez, that is. Clear to see. Super Mario was not onside. Michael Rensing wondering whether or not he'll ever get to keep goal for Bayern Munich again, the way that Hans-Jörg Butt was keeping goal in this game. On the hour, Stuttgart on the attack. It's turned into 2-0 by Mark van Bommel, the captain. Doesn't score very often, but that's an important one. 2-0 for Bayern Munich, and they had 1 foot in the Champions League. Through the legs of Jens Lehmann. Not quick enough to get down. Is he losing it, you might ask yourselves? Well, there's a couple of old campaigners. They're not losing it. Mr. Hoeneß and Mr. Hankes. Chance for Podolski. And the flag up. Good work from Lucio and Luca Toni. Bit of a hard decision to see from this camera angle. Podolski a fraction offside. And on 63 minutes, the moment everybody had been waiting for, Mario Gomez powering his way through the penalty box and striking the ball superbly past Hans-Jörg Butt to make it 2-1. Elson with the assist. The crowd were keeping their ears open for the score from Wolfsburg. But they knew that Bayern Munich were in the lead, and that's where they wanted to stay. Although Stuttgart turned on the pressure, Gomez with another chance. This time just wide of the uprights. Game that could have gone either way in the dying seconds. 89 minutes gone. Frank Ribéry. Philipp Lahm popping up out of nowhere in a typical Philipp Lahm shot, turned away by a typical Jens Lehmann save. Stuttgart could have nearly ruined the party for Bayern Munich on 90+1. Lehmann up for the corner, trying to squeeze a point out of the game. Couldn't do it. That was the last action. They had to see if Wolfsburg had done the business against Bremen. Great season for Stuttgart. They'll have to go into the Champions League playoffs. Bayern Munich will be there in the Champions League next season. 2-1 the score.
The burning question of the day was, could Wolfsburg against Bremen, with either a win or a draw in the Volkswagen Arena in front of a crowd of 30,000, take the title for the very first time in their Bundesliga history? All they needed was 1 point, or all 3, of course. That man has won the title twice before already with Bayern Munich, back in 2005 and 2006, and he would be leaving, Felix Magath, the head coach from Wolfsburg, at the end of the season for Schalke. 6 minutes were played in the game, and the ball not really cleared away by Werder Bremen. Coming back then with Hasebe, the cross into the centre, and finally Misimovic on 6 minutes knocks it into the back of the net for the 1-goal lead. The last time the man from Bosnia-Herzegovina knocked in a goal in the Bundesliga for Wolfsburg was back on day 20 in February against Frankfurt. And today, goal number 7 could be one of the most important of his career. He's been having a tremendous season, part of the magic triangle: Misimovic, Grafich and Jacob. Yeah, Diego Benaglio, the goalkeeper, enjoying the early start. So too Felix Magath. 1-0 then, after just 5 minutes and 53 seconds. Then on 15 minutes, it was Gentner, Christian Gentner, the new German international, into the centre. And how about that for a 27th goal of the campaign for Grafich? Sheer brilliance, the way the man handled that one. Lovely ball from Christian Gentner. He will be playing for Jogi Löw and the Germans on their Asian travels in a short space of time, in about a week's time. And that was certainly one of the best goals I've seen from Grafich this season. He's 27th, 2-0, 15 minutes played. At this stage of the game, everything looked to be going very well for them. Just 3 minutes later, Grafich again and Dzeko. Grafich in the centre, chested down beautifully. It was a sharp angle, but good work from the goalkeeper, Tim Wiese. The Wolves have won their last 14 home games. They are simply the best home team in any of the major European leagues, including England, Spain, Italy or France. A 15th today would bring them the first title. And Dzeko in the centre, a partner in crime with Grafich on 70 occasions in this campaign. He was searching for his 26th of the season. Good work from Grafich. Not a bad header from Dzeko. Just wide of the mark. That was on 19 minutes. On 25 minutes, the first real chance for Werder Bremen with Baumann, Frank Baumann, who will be quite possibly hanging up those boots, the skipper, at the end of the season. Good work from Diego. Sets him up nicely. But getting a little worried here at this stage of the game. He's seen it all. Felix Magath knows that this was not all tied up nicely in green ribbons. Not quite. 26 minutes, Grafich, and then an own goal from the unfortunate Sebastian Pödl. 21 years of age, the new signing from Sturm Graz. Austrian international was in the wrong place at the wrong time as Grafich got that ball over. He was searching for Edin Dzeko. Again, it was Misimovic who delivered. And then the own goal going in. So 3-0 after 26 minutes for the team that could take this title. And then just over half an hour played. That was Claudio Pizarro. And then Diego with a brilliant finish on his swan song in the Bundesliga. The man who is leaving for Juventus Turin at the end of the season. He missed the UEFA Cup final. That was midweek against Shakhtar Donetsk. They lost by 2-1 in extra time. And today he was enjoying himself on the stage. So all of a sudden, they were in actual fact, after 31 minutes, back in business. 2 minutes to go before the half-time whistle. That was Naldo with a deadly delivery. And Aaron Hunt coming exceedingly close indeed, not in an offside position. Brilliant pass from Naldo. And Aaron Hunt, unfortunate that the crossbar denied him. That is the shield, the Schale, as it's called in Germany, that they could win. 2 minutes into the second half. Free kick for Naldo. There was a lot of venom in that one. The Brazilian scored the only goal in that 2-1 defeat against Shakhtar Donetsk in the UEFA Cup final. And Felix Magath knew, of course, he had to get that ball somewhere over, possibly towards Grafich. And there he is too. 4-1 on 56 minutes. The free kick coming in from Sasha Rita. Another one of the mainstays of this team. Grafich knocking in such an important goal. He's 28th of the season after 56 minutes of this game here. And the very first with his head. Wolfsburg leading by 4-1, and the home crowd were starting to celebrate already. On 74 minutes, Rita finds Gentner. Christian Gentner on the left wing, and in the centre he finds Edin Dzeko. The back of the net was the only thing that stopped the ball going any further. 5-1. The man from Bosnia-Herzegovina also knocking in his 26th goal of the campaign, and that meant a new record in the Bundesliga. 54 goals scored by a dynamic duo. Up to now, it was Uli Hoeneß and Gerd Müller back in the early 70s who managed 53 in one season. And now with this goal from Edin Dzeko, 54 for the dynamic duo. From every angle, this goal will be seen as the other goals have been seen on television. From all the Wolfsburg supporters, it's going to be a tremendous video and tremendous celebrations. The new German champions. For the first time in their Bundesliga history, the biggest claim to fame was 5th place last season. Once they were finalists in the DFB Cup final, which they lost against Gladbach back in 1995. But today, the biggest celebrations in the car city of Wolfsburg. Dzeko, one of the heroes, one of the big heroes, and that is it. Deutscher Meister 2009, German champions, Wolfsburg. Joshua collects the shield from Dr. Rainer Raubal, the boss of the DFL, the German Football League. And that was it, the coveted trophy for Wolfsburg for the first time in their history. And let's face it, they really did deserve it. The team that beat Bayern by 5-1 last week, a tremendous 5-0 away win. Before that, 3-0 against Dortmund. Goals galore scored by Wolfsburg, by the dynamic duo Edin Dzeko and Grafich. But it was a collective effort and fully deserved. The shields, and then the traditional shower for the boss himself. Felix Magath, the 55-year-old head coach, won't need a shower tonight. And quite a few beers will be free-flowing, most certainly. A great season came to an end with the brand new champions of the Bundesliga, Wolfsburg.